Friends, I have learned that the best things in life are worth preparing for. Hey, it's Pastor Mike from Fellowship Church. Always good to connect with you midweek. I hope that you're enjoying this warmer weather. That thought for you again. I have learned throughout my life that the best things in life are worth preparing for. And here's why I share that with you today. If you're familiar with the church year, or if perhaps you've driven past your local Wesco gas station lately and read something on the sign, you know that in the church we are entering a new season of the year. It's a season called Lent. Lent is actually a German word. Maybe you knew that, maybe you didn't. That word simply means spring. So every year for a long, long time, the Church of Jesus Christ worldwide has observed a season called Lent, and it's always in the spring. Why? Well, because it's a season of preparation leading up to Easter. Now, if you've read your Bible a bit, you might also know that there's something kind of special about this whole theme of 40 days. Noah inside the ark, Jesus out in the wilderness. 40 days seems to be a recurring theme throughout the Bible. So the early church took Easter, backed up 40 days, and said, we really want there to be a 40-day season of maybe self-examination and self-reflection and thinking about Christ and His sacrifice for us and His role in our life and what life looks like with Jesus. They wanted there to be a 40-day season where people could focus on that a bit before we get to Easter. So we have this season called Lent. Now, if you know your calendar a bit, you know that Wednesday, March 2nd this year, quite possibly the day you're watching this video, Wednesday is Ash Wednesday. And Lent begins with Ash Wednesday. And the reason why it's called Ash Wednesday is that over the years, people would put ashes on their forehead, usually in the sign of a cross. And those ashes were a sign of self-reflection and kind of a sign of putting things to death in our life that didn't belong there. And of course, because there's Ash Wednesday and the season of Lent is the season of self-reflection, some people even celebrate Lent by doing away with things that might be distractions in their lives. The day before Ash Wednesday is called Fat Tuesday. It's the day when people do their last celebrations. They eat special danishes and those kinds of things. In some parts of the country, they call it Mardi Gras. It's just a French word for Fat Tuesday. Fat Tuesday is the time when we celebrate that last little bit before we enter into the season of Lent. And Lent is supposed to be this season of self-reflection and internal examination and maybe thinking as to whether there's parts in our life right now where we're not quite where Jesus wants us to be. And here's the thought I'd love to share with you today. It's that as we come to Easter, and this year's Easter feels a little bit different for me because we're coming out of the pandemic and a lot of other difficult things in life. Of course, the war in Ukraine is going on right now, but this year's Easter feels a little bit different than a lot of other years. It feels like we're going to have a great celebration of the ascendancy and resurrection and new life of Jesus Christ. I'd love for you to examine a time of self-reflection, to take Lent seriously, to be asking yourself the question, Lord, am I where you want me to be in my life? Are there things in my life that maybe don't fit? Are there some things in my life that shouldn't be there? That's that season of preparation that leads us up to Easter. And friends, the best things in life are worth preparing for. If I can be very honest and transparent with you, I will tell you that I've learned over my years as being a follower of Jesus that the level of preparation I make during Lent says a whole lot about how I feel when we get to Easter. If my Lent season is kind of I'm busy, got a lot of things going on, just want to get to Easter, if that's my attitude towards Easter, I don't have such a great Easter. But if during Lent, I try to practice some intentional thinking and maybe a little examination and maybe putting my heart and my mind under the microscope and asking God, what do you really think about my life? If I'm doing things like that during Lent, my Easter feels so much more rewarding and I feel like I can just soak in Jesus deeper. So friends, my hope and prayer for you is that you would have a good season of preparation. Beginning with Ash Wednesday, March 2nd, carrying all the way up through Easter, may God be speaking to you ever more powerfully in these days. May you celebrate this season in a way that's meaningful for you. And when we get to Easter, boy, are we going to have a great Easter together, focusing on Jesus Christ raised. Friends, I hope you have a wonderful week. Take care. God bless, and may this season of Lent be a great, powerful season for you. Take care. Bye-bye.